Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about sewing with separating zippers. Now, separating zipper is something that's used in most commonly a jacket or a hoodie. So you unzip that zipper all the way and it opens at the bottom, and then it threads in at the bottom. You fit the pieces together and you zip the zipper up. So we have a variety of different patterns. We have bomber jacket, the aviator jacket, motorcycle jacket that all use this separating zipper. And a lot of times we've used metal teeth, but you can use them interchangeably, a coil separating zipper, which is plastic, or the metal teeth. And we'll have resources and supplies for both types of zippers. We'll also take a quick look at shortening a separating zipper. This is something that's just good to know how to do because there's a lot of times where you have zippers on hand and they're not exactly the right length for the project that you're working on. So with the doll clothes patterns, a lot of them can be 5 or 6 inch separating zippers. So if you have 6-inch zippers and you know how to shorten them, then you could load up on those and then use them for either type of project. And this may work out better for you if you buy your zippers in bulk. So let's jump on over to the sewing machine and my work area, and I'll show you my tips and tricks and techniques for working with separating zippers. In front of us here we have a few examples of some patterns that use a separating zipper. So first we have the Avila Aviator jacket, and this is for an 18-inch doll. Then we have the same jacket, but this one's for the 14.5-inch Welly Wisher doll. And then over here I have the Peloton motorcycle jacket. So this is a cropped moto jacket with a separating zipper. So in this example, this is using a 5-inch separating zipper, and you can see right up here, it uses the complete zipper. So we have from the base all the way up to the zipper stop that's on the zipper. So this one is designed for that length zipper, and we had that length zipper when we made this pattern. Then as a comparison, we have this smaller size, and this is for the 14.5-inch Welly Wisher. So for these, I had the same zippers on hand, a 5-inch separating zipper, but I knew that it was too long for the measurement on the front of this jacket. So on this one, if you look closely, you can see that it's just folded back into that seam. So it just tucks right in, inside, in between the lining and the jacket. Now for this one, I'll show you some close-up steps on how we do that so that we can sew smoothly right over these teeth. And then just to compare, you can see the two side by side. So this one is about 1 inch shorter, and we just had to shorten that one a little bit for that same style jacket. Then we have this jacket, which is the Peloton Moto jacket. So it zips with a separating zipper. And you can see here by the design of this jacket that one side and the other side, they're not even the same length for the jacket design. So for this zipper, you have your measurement on the pattern, and we're just folding it back on the inside throughout the instructions. So you can see how we do that, but we can use any length zipper as long as it is at least the minimum length of that pattern piece. And then on the opposite side, it just lays back flat right under the shoulder seam. So that's really easy to sew over, and you don't need a zipper stop there because this jacket is not designed to zip even all the way up. It's designed just to zip about halfway up so that you can fold the collar back and see the detail that way. And then here we have both pattern pieces for that Avila jacket. So we have the 18-inch size and the 14-inch size, and you can see that it's a much shorter front. This one right here is designed the length of a 5-inch separating zipper, so it will fit right into there, and we have ribbing that extends on the bottom, which comes down to the base of the zipper. So that zipper stop would need to end right below this neckline seam. Now for the smaller pattern, we have this front, and we know that we need our zipper to go from the point at which this seam stops, and then it's 5/8 inch down from this waistband seam, because we'll have ribbing that sits below this seam. So when we line up our zipper, we're going to set it and mark it 5/8 inch up from the base, and then measure that distance up to the top of the zipper to figure out how long we need that zipper to be. And you can do that at this measurement. You can take it from the very beginning, or you can sew up your jacket and then remeasure that at that point just to be sure that it's exactly right and that you're taking off the length at the top for the measurement of the exact jacket that you're making. Sometimes these seam allowances can vary slightly as you're sewing, and that's a good way to make sure that your zipper lines up exactly right with the jacket that you're working on. And then just 2 quick tips about the separating zipper. So if we have a metal teeth separating zipper and we have marked on here where we want to shorten that zipper to, you're likely going to want to remove a few teeth just so that it folds back and is very smooth under that neckline seam. You can leave it and just raise your needle and just scoot your fabric a little to go over it so that you don't accidentally try to sew through one of these teeth. But if you remove a few, it does make it a little bit easier. On a plastic separating zipper where the teeth are plastic, it's really easy to just cut or fold back that portion where you need it to tuck into the neckline. So you can fold that in and sew over that a lot easier and then trim off the excess. Now let's take a closer look at both versions of the jacket when we're ready to install the zipper. So right here I have the Welly Wisher size, and then over here I have the American Girl size. So I'm just going to show you real quickly. With this one right here, we have this front portion of the jacket, and then this up here is the lining. So from this ribbing to the neck ribbing is where the zipper is going to need to be installed. And you can see right here we have a 5-inch piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is for this 5-inch zipper, which is from the base of the zipper all the way up to that zipper stop. And so that is what is going to be positioned on this size. Now for this smaller version, you can see right here from the base of this ribbing to this neckline seam right here, we have 4 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5-inch separating zipper. So what I'm going to do is position the zipper at the bottom. This is the part we will not cut. You're going to shorten a separating zipper from the top down. So I've measured 4 inches from the base of this zipper, and I've marked it right here on both sides. Now I'm just going to carefully unzip this zipper, and I can do that quite a bit down. And then I'm going to work on this area right here. I'm going to look at the tooth that's on the zipper next to my marking, and then above that I'm going to remove a few of these teeth just so that I have space, and then I'll trim off the top. Now we have a couple tools here that we can use to pull the teeth off the zipper. So we have needle nose pliers, and then we have these little ones right here that are designed to actually cut wire. If you have a hard time with a grip on these to be able to grip that tooth and actually just pull it out, you can try using something like this that actually is designed to cut, and it might cut that in more pieces and you can pull it off that way. So what I'll do is just go on in here and I'll grab that tooth as firmly as I can, and I'm just going to pull that off. There you can see we have one of those teeth removed, and then we'll just work to pull off a few more. And here you can see this is just a little bit different tool. We're just going to kind of grip on that right on the point. And then just carefully pull that out. And it might come out in little parts, and then you can just pull the rest of it off. So you can see that right there. And once you have a few of those teeth pulled off, then repeat that on the opposite side, matching your marking line. And now you can see right here where we have those removed. Now that is going to be the right length for this jacket. Okay, now we're at the sewing machine with the zipper that we removed these teeth, and I'm just going to show you with your zigzag stitch how to create basically a bar tack right at the top right here, which will give you a new stop for your zipper. So I have my machine set at a zigzag. It's set at the widest zigzag it'll sew, and it's also set at a 0 stitch length, so it won't go forward at all. If your machine has a setting where you can lower your feed dogs, you can do that as well. And if you lower your feed dogs, it won't pull the zipper through. It'll keep it in one spot to sew that. So I'm just going to set this down right here, and I'm going to just hold these threads and then just go back and forth right over that. And you can see that we have created a bar tack stitch right there, which then will now cause that zipper to stop right there. It will not unzip all the way. So now that I've done that on this zipper, I can go ahead and just trim off the top edges of this zipper. Then you can also apply a little bit of fray check right along this top edge of this cut zipper tape if you're concerned about that fraying at all. But it will be covered by the seam in this application, but in another pattern it might not be, so it's a good place to use that. Then at this point it's pretty easy to sew the zipper onto the jacket. We're just going to unzip this zipper all the way and remove the part that separates, and then this is going to be on this side, and then this one we're going to apply on the other side. So I'm just going to turn this zipper over so that it is right side to right side on the jacket, and I can move this pull just out of the way as I'm pinning it. Then I'm going to start by lining this up right at the bottom of that ribbing, and I'm going to just pin that in place. And then we're going to work our way up to the top, and this zipper stop will just line up right under that neckline ribbing. Alright, now we're at the machine and we are going to just swap out our presser foot for our zipper foot. And I'm going to move my needle all the way over to the left. And we are going to bring over our jacket. So I have the jacket and I'm going to sew this zipper down starting right up at the top. And I'm going to line this up so that I have this as close to the zipper teeth as I can get it. And my lining is pushed up out of the way. Now you can see here that we're getting close to this zipper pull. So I'm just going to raise my presser foot and I'm just going to slide this zipper out of the way, and it will just push right through there. And once I have that pushed up out of the way, I can slide it all the way up to the top, and then I'll just lower that presser foot again and continue sewing all the way to the base. And for this pattern, I do want to make sure that I have my seam allowance pointed up underneath this bottom end of my zipper. So here we have the one side of the zipper sewn down, and I'm just going to bring back over the other side of my zipper, which would zip into this just like this. This is the base. Slide that in and zip that up just like that. So now we're going to attach the other side of the jacket to this side of the zipper. So to do this, you can very carefully look at the base of this and just pay really special attention to exactly what prong or what tooth is lined up with your ribbing, just to make sure that you have a very even zipper at the bottom of the jacket. So I've unzipped the zipper from the other side. This is the right side of the zipper. This is the right side of the jacket. So I'm just going to flip it over. I'm going to line it up with the base of the jacket just like it was on the other side. And I can double check on here to make sure that my ribbing is the same distance on both sides, the same measurement, so I know the zipper will hit at the same point. And when the zipper zips, you want your ribbing seam to be lined up. So then we'll just go ahead and line this up the same as we did the other side and stitch this down with our zipper foot in place on the opposite side of the jacket. Now that we have this second side sewn down, I'm just going to show you on a design that has a lining on the inside of the jacket. We have this extra zipper tape up at the top that's extending, and it's just kind of in the way. So this right here is the neckline. You can see the ribbing right here, and that's the neckline seam. And this lining is going to need to fold over and be sewn down. So for this particular pattern, we're sewing this by machine. A lot of designs will have the lining tacked down by hand on the inside of the jacket. But for this one, I just wanted to show quickly what you do with the top end of this zipper tape. So you can carefully fold this back out of the way, and then you would go ahead and place this over, and then you could stitch with your zipper foot still, because you have teeth under here, you'd come up along this and stitch right over that. And then once you have that stitched down, you can trim this part out right here. And then that way you have this little finished edge tucking back inside, and you don't have any little frayed bits sticking out into the front of your jacket. So now I'm just going to come in to this area, and I'm just going to trim out this zipper, that excess zipper tape, and then I can just kind of trim down into here without trimming through any of my stitching lines. And then you can see here, this is the top of this neckline, where we have the zipper stop right here, and then that ribbing. So that comes down right next to each other. And then we'll go through with this pattern and actually top stitch along the zipper line and up along the neckline, just for added detail, and it also reinforces this zipper stitching. And now that we have this shortened zipper, we can follow the exact same instructions and place this zipper into this jacket. So we'll start by lining up at the base of the ribbing, and we'll just go ahead and pin that all the way up the center front of the jacket. And then we'll go ahead using our zipper foot and just sew this down in the exact same method, and then we'll have a shortened zipper that fits this size pattern. And here we have the two finished jackets, both sizes, same fabric, same zipper. And you can see close up here, this one we still have some hand stitching to do on the inside, but the zipper is even and it's tucked in right at the neckline. And then it's also inside the lining. So that's on the smaller doll size. And then this one right here is on the 18-inch size with the original stops up at the top that are right at that neckline seam. All right, guys, well, I hope that that has helped sort of clarify and really give you a good visual demonstration of how to sew in a separating zipper successfully. This is a great type of closure or embellishment to add to your garments that really give it an authentic look. So don't be afraid. Try and practice sewing in these types of zippers, and it'll help build your confidence, and I think you'll get really comfortable with it, and you'll be able to add these to a variety of items that you're sewing.